Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Updates channel. So this is where I'll be answering questions that you guys have in our Acquired Accelerator. This is a completely free school community where you can join, ask any question you want around how to sign clients, outbound, and basically how to scale your agency, and I will answer them every single day. This is our main channel. This is a bit of a Nick Sarev style sort of series we're doing. So we're trying to grow the main channel as well, currently 1.4k subscribers. But yeah, let's dive into the questions for the school community. If you want to be part of it, there's a link in the description. It's completely free to join. And you can see I'm just trying to drop as much value as possible. I think we had a question here that was a good question, the latest question from Soira. And I'm going to answer this as best as I can. Now, if you're in the cold email space, you'll know that there's some changes that have been happening recently, most namely with Gmail. Gmail have changed some policies on their side, and you may have been having some trouble with inboxes. So this is going to answer for this current point in time, but this is also, I believe, going to be the answer that's going to be evergreen. This is always going to be the way to do it if you want to see results with cold email. So this is realistically what cold email deliverability looks like, because in cold email, deliverability is one of the hardest things to master. And if you can get this right, then you can scale your campaigns very, very well. So deliverability really just means your ability to land in your prospect's primary inbox. So with so many spam filters now, it's very difficult to land in your prospect's primary inbox, because if your message is too long, if you've got the wrong words in there, if you've got links, attachments, if you're tracking open rates, all of these sorts of things will affect deliverability. And this seems like this is your issue. So I'm going to assume you're doing all the right things in terms of deliverability in the first place. These things are no links in definitely your first email, but no links, no attachments or images. Okay, so or images. I'm assuming your copy isn't really long, so it's like relatively short copy. It's good. And I assume you're avoiding spam words. If you do these three things, you're pretty much 80% of the way on getting good deliverability. Obviously, you need to also like not send too many emails, so not mass email per account. All right, per account. I usually limit my email accounts at about 20 emails per day. Emails per day. And if I want to scale it, I just get more inboxes. So let's say I want to send 1,000 emails a day. I need 50 inboxes, right? Inboxes to send 1,000 emails per day. Okay, so that's how I look at it. But I'm assuming you're doing all of these things already. Now, your question is more specifically around the actual infrastructure side. How can we avoid these issues with email deliverability if we're using cold email infrastructure? So realistically, what's going to happen is email deliverability is just going to be like this, right? What I mean by that is there's going to be policies that change that are going to make it way harder. So let's say, let's call this deliverability. Just call it, it doesn't really look like deliverability, but assume this says deliverability and this is time. So what you'll notice is deliverability will increase over time. This is basically as a result of policy changes, and it will drop down. This is where we are now. Let's say Gmail change policy. Then what will happen in this period after is Smart Lead instantly, the infrastructure, the servers will basically find ways to make this not really an issue anymore. We'll find ways to get around it. We'll beef up the servers. We'll find ways to basically mitigate these issues. And guess what? Deliverability will come up. And then another issue might happen. Another thing might pop up here and it will cause deliverability to drop down again. So it's not something we can just always have up here. It's very, very unlikely. Now, what it will look like is, let's assume this black line is Gmail inboxes. Okay. The different service providers will change policies usually at different times. So if this is Gmail, let's do another green line for Outlook. Let's now assume this green line here is Outlook inboxes. Okay, and then we'll do another one for SMTP. This is more theoretical. This isn't actual, like, I haven't got numbers to give you, but this is typically what it could look like, right? And then, right? It's not going to be an exact opposite, but they're not going to be the same, exactly the same, like changing at the same rate. So when Outlook inboxes are performing really well, it might be that Google inboxes aren't performing the best, and vice versa. okay? And then it might be the same, for example, slightly different for what we call SMTP. So these are like private servers, right? So let's just move this out of the way. This could look something like this, right? So they're all moving at different, they're all having policy changes at different rates, they're moving at different rates, they're recovering at different rates. So realistically, you can't actually factor for any of these things in the future. And it's almost impossible for you to do that. So the best way realistically to do this is to have imagine this pie chart is all of your email infrastructure. What you really want to do is have an even split, okay? 30% or 33% Gmail, 33% SMTP, and then 33% Outlook. I know this is a different color green, but bear with me. And then what this means is if you have 33% of each at any given time, even if one really has an issue, this one could be up here and SMTP could be here, which will mean that you just potentially primarily pause sending from the Gmail accounts, but keep the Outlook and the SMTP ones running. This is really, there's no magic way around it. This is really sort of the best thing to do. And it just ensures that you like de-risk your infrastructure. Okay. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive to do, and it's potentially a little bit more time consuming to set up as well. But it just means that when we have things like this and Google changes policies or Outlook changes policies, you're not going to run into any issues because you already have accounts set up on the other sort of servers that you can run in the meantime. So there's not really too much you can do instantly right now. I'd say if your IP reputation is really bad, you're going to need a new domain, right? Because realistically what happens with, let's look at email account health here over time as well. I'll show you a couple examples. So this is like health of your email account, and this is time. Usually your health will start pretty high, go well, and then slowly over time, like this is over the course of let's say 6 to 9 months, it will tank off, right? And unfortunately, this is an irreversible process. So health of your email accounts can only go down, it cannot come up. Because like even if you have your email account sending less volume, trying to warm it back up, it's very rare that you'll actually be able to recover it. So it's a one-way process. Now that's what will usually happen over time, but what can happen as well, once again, health up here and time here, if we do something wrong, we can pretty much like ruin the health straight away, right? Once again, this is irreversible. We can't come back from this. We can't make it spike back up. We're not able to do that. So all we need to do is just make sure we're adhering to the best practices, which are here. So no links, no attachments, no images, short copy, avoiding spam words, not mass emailing per account, sending about 20 per day, and having a de-risked infrastructure, right? So spreading the risk across different servers. That's really all we can do. If your email accounts are bad, like this, the health, we know that it cannot go back up now. So if your health is bad, you're going to have to just get new domains and warm them up, right? I would really recommend warming up your new email accounts for 3 to 4 weeks at this point as a minimum, really. Otherwise, 2 weeks can still be okay, but I would recommend 3 to 4 weeks. But if your IP, if the IP reputation is down, and your deliverability is not good, unfortunately, there's no way that you can actually really make this come up again. You're going to have to get new inboxes. That's just the best thing to do. So hopefully this video is useful. It's helped you understand a little bit around the current situation with regards to cold email. Like I say, if you want to join this free school community, please jump in and ask any questions you got. As you can see, we're gaining momentum now. We're on the road to hit, hopefully smash 100 members very soon and get up to eventually 1,000. That'd be awesome. So thanks for being part of this journey, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.